you really have to diversify your approach and think outside the box more so than the typical post and pray, put it on Indeed, LinkedIn, and call it a day with recruiting.
Hello there. This is John Bernatovich, your host of the HR Like a Boss podcast. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend. I've embarked on a journey to get to know amazingly awesome HR and business professionals, and I'm trying to understand what it takes to do HR like a boss. On today's show, I'm so excited to have a dear friend and colleague, Bob Haas. I've known Bob for going back almost 12 years ago. We met at Summit Mall when he came for an interview for an internship at a company I had started. So Bob Haas, welcome to the HR Like a Boss podcast.
Thanks for having me, John.
So cool. So cool. This is fun for me. Normally I have guests that maybe I've known for a half a minute in some cases, but others for a long time. And I'm delighted to have you, Bob. And I know you well. I know your family well. I know your career well, but for those that have not had the pleasure to get to know you, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so 11, 12 years ago, I was finishing my education at Kent State University, and I had taken an interest in the HR, the recruitment industry. And because of this, I was starting to look at career opportunities, and I was already in discussions with John, and he had just started Willory, and we both looked at it, maybe more so me, as a great opportunity. And I mean, from there, jumped right into recruiting, and just loved the industry, connecting with people, connecting with just folks that were looking for greater opportunities. And that was about 5 years, and there was a natural progression from there into sales where I am today, where I've been the past 5 years.
And I know in your day-to-day job, I know we work very closely together, so I have some insight into what you do every day. And you mentioned it in the introduction of yourself. You're speaking with a lot of HR executives and leadership. And I'm curious as to what maybe trends, one or two trends you're hearing, Bob, from those particular contacts in this day and age.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, the trends that I'm seeing within, my daily work, speaking with HR executives, it's definitely the talent shortage that we're seeing today, and how do we overcome that? And I think there's a variety of ways that we can overcome that from an HR standpoint. Definitely, a quick Willory plug: you can partner with staffing firms, and because of that, cast a wider net in identifying the right candidates for the role. But you can also leverage your existing technology. I guess the theme is just to do more with less, just because of that shortage, and because of that, you're looking to, again, leverage your technology and think of innovative ways to attract and retain talent.
I'm so curious to get your perspective on how over the last 10 years, recruiting and staffing has changed within corporate America.
Earlier on, it seemed as though candidates had to match up perfectly to a job description. And in these last couple of years, I've seen that they don't necessarily need to align right with the job description. As long as they have a good foundation in that area of focus, they're coachable employees, and they align culturally with the organization, I think that can create a framework for the person being able to thrive within that organization. From an interview perspective, I'm seeing most often than not, the interview process is being shortened, which is, I think, can be celebrated by everybody around. You're seeing 2 to 3 interviews, whereas 10 years, and sometimes just all over Microsoft Teams or Zooms, whereas 10 years ago, we were seeing multiple interviews, Teams interviews, assessments, personality assessments, job assessments, and it was a bit much. And I think we've reeled back from that to just, is this the right fit? Let's give it a shot and and it's made, it's made the ease of transition to a new job and the start much easier than that very intrusive process.
I know we're kind of themed for today is around recruiting. I know you're selling a lot of that with what you do at Willory, and I'm just curious if some of the challenges that some of your clients are mentioning to you, or that you're seeing when we get these new job opportunities come into Willory. Are there any challenges that you're seeing consistently, and any best practice recommendations that could suggest to our listeners of things you've seen us do at Willory, or for some of the clients that are trying to find that top talent?
You really have to diversify your approach and think outside the box, more so than the typical post and pray, put it on Indeed, LinkedIn, and call it a day with recruiting. I think there's a couple items here, or a couple points where you can really go the distance in terms of finding qualified candidates. And one of those is looking internally. If you can look internally and see if you have employees that already fit the culture, already understand the business, and what you need to achieve for success, I think that's a great start. Beyond that, the point I had mentioned earlier, creating realistic job descriptions, really sitting down with the hiring manager, understanding what is the ideal candidate. We don't need a 2-page job description here of what we're looking for. What are 5 to 10 kind of criteria that we're looking for here, and is there flexibility on that? And then beyond that, I think HR leaders or anybody else looking for talent, leverage your own network, and that's really anybody in your network that you associate with. Ask them who do they think might be a fit for the position, or if you're a part of an association such as SHRM or the American Payroll Association, go to those organizations and talk with those people and ask them, who do you know that might be a fit for this, and can you introduce me? And those are just a couple of ways that you can go beyond that, just posting and hoping that the right talent will be looking at your website that day and that time and looking at your job description.
But I'm curious if you would answer my final question on what you would describe someone that does HR like a boss.
The immediate word that comes to mind is passionate. I just think about that word. You're so passionate about HR like a boss. So, I mean, you have to, an HR leader needs to be as passionate about their organization, just their organization, their people, instituting best policies. And I believe it's somebody that can build trust from within all levels of an organization, focus on strategies to bring in the right people, foster that workplace environment that employees are proud to be a part of, and truly those employees wanting to call that workplace the best place I've ever worked. I think that's kind of the top compliment for somebody that wants to have that title, HR like a boss.
That was awesome, Bob. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, John. It was a pleasure and an honor to be invited.
Thank you for checking out the HR Like a Boss podcast. If it resonates with you, please consider leaving a rating and review. And better yet, subscribe and share with a friend. Until next time, let's continue to aspire to do amazingly awesome HR.